All right, welcome back for our final feature match of the evening here for week 5, Aetherdrift League. We got another two longtime league veterans here. Both have won leagues, both have served on the league committee at various different points, and both are still in contention here in week 5. We got Jeremy E against Adam S. So, what's going on over in Adam's hand so far?
Well, he kept a Snapkeep 5 land stock up and a Dreadma Ire
Okay.
from Lost Cavern.
We did
So,
see how the five lander worked out in the last feature match for Sinkwater, which was very unfavorably.
yes.
So hopefully he can draw out of it here. Jeremy's got a nice hand here. He's got Venom Sack Lagak, he's got a Velo Heart Bike, and he's got a couple of Ikoria cards here. The Migratory Greathorn, which is a mutate creature, and another mutate creature, the Nethroy, Apex of Death.
Oh.
So we did see a couple weeks ago in the feature match a mirror match where both players had had Nethroy. So not its first appearance in the feature match area this league.
Uh,
What's he finding there
I,
with the stock up?
I, I think the stock up hand was really good. He just drew another stock up and then flood the engine and the lumbering world wagon.
I think we yeah.
So, he's gonna get really tall, really big with some card draw backing it up
I think
with the Mind Spring Merfolk
yeah.
too.
I think we just call that hoarding,
So
right? When you stock up and then you just stock up more. I think we just call that
no,
hoarding.
he just had two stock up in hand.
Yeah.
So
No.
yeah,
He just keeps stocking up. He just keeps buying stuff to just have it. He's not doing anything. He's just have it. All right, so nice little turn here with the mutate creature, ramping him up towards potentially a hard cast Nethroy for 5, or doesn't have too much else. He has a Velo Hard Bike and a Scrap Compactor. He may want to use the Scrap Compactor before the Mindspring Merfolk can draw cards here.
hmm but the Merfolk still can't use its ability.
Yeah,
The double pip is quite hurtful in a three color decks, but he can play the lumbering to guaranteed his blue sources.
that's a little. That's going to be a little bit slow, but Jeremy does not have an answer to like a large creature just yet. I mean, he has Scrap Compactor, but that'll take a couple turns.
Yeah, till then the lumbering can probably fetch one, two, three lands even.
Yeah, and this Merfolk is going to give him some cards to draw. So despite Jeremy having a nice little start here with his mutate creature, he risks falling behind on both cards and mana here.
Mhm.
Yeah, so gets in an attack here. Oh, I was gonna say looks great. He drew Web Strike Elite, which can cycle to destroy the World Wagon, but much like Adam didn't have the second blue source to activate his Merfolk yet, he does not have the second green source to cycle his Web Strike Elite.
Oh, that's rough. Oh, but next turn probably.
Yeah, he does have this Death Toucher here that he can put in the way of the World Wagon. Um, Additionally, him having Nethroid to mutate on something can put both creatures back into play if if they die.
Oh, Netroid is really good.
Yeah. So
It's not something people expect in this league, so
oh, interesting. I was thinking he was maybe going to hold back to try and to block the World Wagon here, but it looks like he's just going to allow the World Wagon one more hit and then possibly Web Strike it. Looks like Adam's got all his colors online here as well.
yeah, I think he is well set up for the mid game currently.
All right, so he's got a 4-1 here. Nothing special, but it does have 4 power to crew the World Wagon, which is what he wanted. So Jeremy is mousing over the Web Strike Elite, I think, indicating he's going to be doing that when he can. But World Wagon will have dealt 7 damage and gotten 2 lands. So it's done its work.
So yeah, spending a lot of mana and getting another card to destroy the War Dragon.
Yeah,
The War Dragon, I think, has grew on me during the season.
yeah, I had it at the pre-release, and I was like, Crew 4. Like, I'm really not a huge vehicle fan in limited. Anything above Crew 2, and I'm like very skeptical. But immediately I realized the card was very very strong. So he gets
And
this
the
cool
Iron,
effect here of getting to blow up an artifact now, which was a very like random and not always relevant effect in LCI. I mean, there were artifacts going around, but not every deck had them. But here, every deck has artifacts.
and now Adam is putting
Uh oh.
really good pressure. He's putting he's put he's putting it on the squeeze.
Yeah, he does. He did draw a ram through here, so he can kill something. That's the. It's like
And
a. It's like an instant speed. You know what we call a bite spell. But
yeah,
he, I think he does have to. Oh, he will have the green also from the bike. So I think he does have to kill the world wagon here, as sort of bad as it seems. Okay.
it's gonna cost him 5 mana.
Yeah. Well.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he cannot spend round through and destroy the world. No, he can't.
No, he has
No,
the
he can't.
bike here, so he can do that. He is going to take 4, which when you're at 11 is we'll say significant. Yeah. So Jeremy probably a little disappointed here that he found something else to crew the world wagon with. I think he would have hopefully stranded the yeah. Jeremy really needed Adam to not have another 4 power creature to crew with, because now he's taken 4. Yeah, my favorite flavor. The car gets in a bigger car to drive it. Of course.
I mean, it's like the Russian doll. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
Like just like, oh, I find that here.
My guy gets on a bike, the bike goes into a car, the car goes into a boat. Just you lost me.
And then the boat goes in like in the tiniest vehicle, like a clown car.
Yeah, I just think vehicles are just like, first, like the flavor is like kind of dumb. Like it's just, I understand what they're trying to do, but it's kind of stupid how like multiple vehicles can get in other vehicles. And I just don't think the gameplay is very interesting for limited. In this set they gave a lot of them ETBs, which is nice. But yeah, it's a pretty flawed card type, I think. Because when they're really good, they're like too good, and the rest of the time they're just not good enough. So
Yeah, you really need either a really good ETB or good effects outside of it.
yeah, and
Like
when they make them like too pushed, they like take over constructed, like Smuggler's Copter, the Bank Buster. Like those cards are just like way too efficient
oh,
and win in every
that
deck. So it's like, how do you balance it and make it fun but not too powerful, but like also strong enough? And it's really hard with vehicles.
it's oof, another flood the engine.
Because vehicles are like, in a weird way, that it's like an aura, right? It's like you're using a card to make your card do something. So, and there's always risk in playing auras and things like that. Yeah, Flood the Engines is going to be not the end of the world here. He's still going to have the 2 blockers.
Yeah,
So,
for this turn.
so this was not the end of the world.
Now, does Adam want to keep putting pressure or wait another turn while using his stock up
I
to
imagine
maybe
he wants
attack
to
when
attack with the 2 4 power. Yeah. So the thing here is that Jeremy needs this. He needs the 7th mana for the Nethroid, but he also needs the creature to put it on, and he's going to have neither here.
Yeah.
So
Could he have
I believe if you mutate onto a creature with the Flood the Engines, you get the Nethroi ability, I believe, but because of what they
ooh.
call layers, like when it gains the ability. So the creature lost
Uh
all its previous abilities, but it can gain new ones.
well, the mutate happens when it ETBs, right?
More or less. Well, when it mutates, which is when it enters, basically. Well,
Yeah,
he
so
he didn't get the land, so it
the
didn't matter. But he did draw basically probably one of the best things he could have drawn here. What's Adam got in hand now after that stock up?
Boommobile, Ronas, and Plow Through.
Well, that is very bad for Jeremy.
Indeed.
That is
The
extremely bad.
Boommobile can be lethal next turn if he plays it, but he decides to play Ronas.
Yeah, I did a little write up on the feedback page after I got out, but Ronas was one of the cards I named as just probably a little too strong for a bonus sheet that has some cards that you basically don't want to play sometimes. So yeah, it's a little powerful. Yeah, this is not looking good here.
Especially with the Azers and the Tetradon. It's putting a lot of pressure on non-green decks
Yeah,
to
and there's
find an
just
answer to a indestructible god,
I mean
which is not
there's
easy
yeah,
in
like
this format.
black and red that usually have the ways to remove creatures can't remove this.
Well, Siphon Field can
Sure, yeah, that's about
remove
it.
Arona.
Yeah,
There's Flood the Engine, obviously,
yeah,
Rights and
yeah, white and blue can, but like if you don't have them, you just die. Well, like I've died to Ronas, I died to Hazaret. Like it was not fun. I was like, how are people getting these cards in the bonus sheet? And I'm getting unclaimed territory and cycling deserts from the same bonus sheet.
uh, it's part of Magic, I
Oh yeah, for
guess.
sure. All right, so he is gonna get to mutate this unless there's a removal.
Not coming.
Okay, so he's gonna get to refill his battlefield here, and with a lifelink creature.
Mhm.
So this Ronas is still just gonna be a problem, though.
He still can't attack unless he pumps the Vanguard.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean he can do that pretty easily. So of note, the Ronas cannot pump itself with the +2/+0 trample ability. It can only pump other creatures. So it's just a 5/5 death touch indestructible rather than a trampler
Holy death.
with more power than that. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's a
But
mild timid creature.
I think Jeremy can profitably block, depending on, like, the lifelink helps a lot while accruing value with the mammoth. I think Adam could be overwhelmed quickly.
Yeah, we'll see. This Ronas attacking will demand to be blocked. He does have a carrion cruiser as his last card in hand, which could be used to get something else back. Um, so he could possibly have the Nethro die, get it back, etc. See what he wants to do here. But with a Ronas in play, his options might be limited. But Adam's facing a
Uh,
big attack here if he decides to start committing creatures to attack Jeremy. So
the,
what's Adam thinking through with the cards in his hand? He still has a
uh,
what does he
he,
have?
oh, well, he just played his summoner.
Okay,
We'll see what he can find.
perhaps a 9/7.
I don't see any.
Okay,
Well, he just took the Tyrox in his graveyard. I cannot see his library.
I mean
So
giving that trample ain't bad.
yeah,
Also, this means that the Ronas is free to attack without him having to pump. He did not attack with the Ronas here. He just said, I need to be able to profitably block the Nethroi or the Mammoth." Ooh, Ride's End here on top of the deck for Jeremy. So he's going to be clawing his way back into this game potentially with being able to get this Ronas and start attacking here with his large creatures.
But that means he will have to wait another turn, otherwise the Karen Cruiser will mid it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's fine with that. He can just activate. Yeah, he can just activate his land here, make another creature, and just sit back and hope to survive this turn. Right? That's if he survives this turn, he gets to get rid of the Ronas, and looks like he has enough toughness on board to not die to various creatures having trample.
The jaws of defeat are closing on Adam currently.
Yeah, I mean, like he was definitely doing well. He was putting the pressure on, but he just kind of weirdly, even with two stock ups, just ran out of things to do. And Jeremy found the value cards here, like Web Strike Elite,
Uh,
drawing a card and killing something, Nethroid getting cards back, even the Migratory Greathorn at the beginning, getting a land. Scurryfoot got him an extra creature. He's cast Mammoth twice, so yeah, just every card that Jeremy did like something on top of what it did. So it gave him like a card or more worth of value.
the Vanguard hasn't got a lot of value currently. Even Vanguard is supposed to shine in those kind of board state where neither player wants to really attack or commit, but it's kind of awkward currently.
It's very awkward, I would say, because he's facing like potentially huge attacks here, and especially with this ride zen getting rid of the Ronas, the attacks are going to be, you know, potentially very large. So he's
Uh,
sending in with this 4-1, which does demand perhaps multiple blockers. He can pump it up by one, two, three, four, five. He could pump this +6/+0.
uh, yeah, no plus yeah plus 6 and 12. So that means Jeremy could be at 2.
Yeah, he
If
did block with the lifelinker.
yeah, but that means it goes to 12, and if Adam commits to the full pumps, Jeremy goes to 2. No, sorry.
No, he would take 5. Yeah, so
5
he
more.
goes to 11 here. So
No.
and now the ride's end is probably going to swing this game very firmly in his favor. And the next turn he can carry in cruiser, get back the Nethroy, and really really do some damage. So now here's the decision of do you want to use Ronas to pump something, or do you want to use the Beast Rider?
Uh, from what I can tell, he was close to using Rona's ability, but I think he's opting for more of an out.
Yeah, it just means this 5/5 gets to attack like super freely, which is quite bad for him.
I don't know if there's more Flood the Engine or other permanents that could help in this situation.
Yeah, he might have that. Maybe outpace Oblivion. Who knows? That's another permanent that would fix this issue.
At least temporarily. Like there's still 3/3s on board that can't really be dealt easily with the current board. The two powers are really
Yeah. Is he seeing anything of use over there?
Earth Rumbler and two lands. Earth Rumblers. Oh, a Sita.
Okay, it's a good one.
Yeah. So if he can keeps enough creatures and survive the attack, he can probably end up lethal. But I think Jeremy has the game.
Yeah, I mean he certainly pulled ahead here in the last couple turns. Like I said, Adam was putting the beats on early and putting pressure, but everything Jeremy did like got him value. It's like basically almost every card he cast got more than a card's worth of value, which is extremely helpful.
Especially especially in this format, getting 2 for 1s, getting lots of value is really important.
Yeah, and I mean Adam also played things with card advantage. Like he played the Fang Druid Summoner that got the 4-1 back. He's played Beast Rider Vanguard. He cast two stock ups, but you know, basically every card Jeremy played gave him something, and that's not true for every card Adam played, just some of them. So it looks like he's deciding
And
what he wants to do with his boom mobile here, and it might be to go after the mammoth. Yeah, so this is going to cost him his whole turn.
but now he's pretty stable.
Yeah,
Like the
six
three
six.
trees
Yeah,
is are not threatened by his 2/2 is in 2/4,
yeah,
but likewise, Adam with his 2/4 and his 6/6 is not really scared of what's happening with
yeah. This cruiser's looking
the 3
pretty
3.
good here. Get back the Nethroy and then get back a bunch more stuff next turn. So
Does he have
Adam's
enough
just
mana
gotta be.
to?
He does not have the seventh mana on board at this time.
Okay,
But Adam's just
so
got to be groaning over there, saying like, "Oh, this again." The mammoth is coming back. One or two other things are coming back with it.
yeah,
You bring back like a mammoth, pothole mole, and the engine rat. It's pretty good.
which is so much value, so much pressure.
I believe it's what it's power. It's total power 10 or less. I believe, right?
It's total power.
Yeah,
If you have somehow creatures with negative power, it it does work with neutral.
I believe in the graveyard.
In the graveyard, yes. So if you have, for example, a dead shadow,
Sure.
who like you're 20 life and you have dead shadow, it counts for the power. So you can bring 17 power
Yeah,
instead of only 10.
I know somebody who had a Nethroid commander deck where they just like they're playing all these like the zero zeros that enter the battlefield with four counters, enter the battlefield with three counters, right? All these cards like that, like cards that say there's zero zeros printed, but they say it enters the battlefield with 3+1 counters. So they just play that and they bring back everything. Now he's looking at Seed of Arma and saying, "Is this going to kill me?" Yeah, we definitely have a grind fest on our hands, as Adam noted here.
Yeah.
Or as Jeremy noted.
Uh,
He's drawn a Luris
uh,
here, which is even more graveyard recursion.
yeah, he can recur the engine rat
Or the Scrap
and
Compactor.
scrap compactor. Oh god,
So he can
this
recur
is
one of them. I
bad.
think he's going for Engine Rat here. So the Seed of Armor can be activated. The one thing to watch out for is the Earth Rumbler that has Trample, that can get plus a lot. One, two, three, four, five, six. He has 9 mana, so he could do X equals 6. So the Earth Rumbler could potentially get +6.
Yeah, he could activate his Sita and then activate the Earth Rumbler. So that way the Earth Rumbler is a little bit bigger. Uh, I think Adam has to do something now, otherwise he will not get back in the game. Because looping Scrap Compactor will be the end of him.
Yeah,
Because
he'll still need a seventh mana here in order to really be able to make use of that, but it will not be good here. Yeah, like Adam's not playing bad cards. Earth is a good card. Seed of Arm is a good card. Gunner is a good card, but Jeremy's cards are just doing more. They're all getting value in some way.
yeah, Lure is surprisingly very powerful in this league too.
Well, absolutely. I believe it was Wesley who was running a Luris deck at the end. I saw him play. I think it was yesterday, a match, and it was the Luris was for sure doing work as his companion.
I've seen Momentum Breaker being looped again and again. It
Yeah,
is
that'll do it.
quite hard to get through.
Yeah, that'll do it. Scrap Compactor does it too, but yeah, he's just going to play his Wreckage Wicker Folk here. So they're just going to continue to sort of stare at each other here. We're in game one here. We're about almost half an hour in, so this may be a long one here, which we don't mind. Oh, he's surveilling too. He sees a dredger's insight, and but more importantly, a curse cloth wrappings. So if you thought he was playing around with the graveyard just a little bit, curse cloth wrapping says I'm playing around with the graveyard even more. Looks like he's going to keep both here. So this denies him his seventh land, but I think he said I'd rather have a curse cloth wrappings than a seventh land, perhaps.
Yeah, rap. Oh my god, yes, the graveyard is being abused
Yeah,
right now.
this is the graveyard at this point is just his hand too, right?
Yeah.
between Nethroy, Luris, the carrying cruiser, Kurthclass wrapping, he's just got his graveyard in his hand, and so to speak.
I don't know if Adam has any good graveyard hate in his sideboard currently.
Is there any good
Oh,
graveyard hate in this set? Like that is one. I will say that's like one little gripe I have on the set is that there's not really good ways to interact with opponent's graveyard, and there's a lot of stuff in green and black that are just grabbing stuff from the graveyard over and over. The only thing is like Wreck Remover, and that card's just okay. So
yeah. If I check really quickly uh for that, um,
yeah,
there's two other cards that can interact with the graveyard. Ancient Vendetta, so the
okay, right.
sorcery, and that's not playable.
That's not a thing. Yeah,
And the Gear Owl can technically bring back a card from another graveyard.
opponent's graveyard.
The
Yeah,
Coastal Gear Owl.
yeah,
That's the three cards in the draft environment.
yeah. I would say this is a pretty good draft set, but I would say that's a little bit of a flaw. That they should just put something like even if it's like one of those like cards like a Soul Guide Lantern or whatever, like exile graveyards, draw a card or whatever it does. Just even as like a sideboard card in best of three. But yeah, like I remember back in what was it, Midnight Hunt in Innistrad, where there was like flashback and disturb, but there was tons of graveyard hate. There was like so many playable cards that just would exile one or two cards from the graveyard as like a just like a bonus effect, and it kept those things in balance. Right, so he's gonna go the scrap compactor route here.
I mean, bolting a creature at every turn is still viable in this day and age.
Well, he's running out of things to deal 3 damage to, but it certainly can't be bad. So no
I
attack
mean,
still.
at one point he could just play one scrap compactor and the other destroy target permanent. It's not very efficient,
Yeah, and
but it's
he's
doing
not
something.
getting a land quite yet. He did keep the Dredger's Insight on top, so that'll dump some more cards in his graveyard. Um, I assume if he sees a land among the cards milled, he'll grab that just because he hasn't found a seventh land quite yet.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Uh,
like I mentioned, nothing Adam's doing is bad. It's just not as good as what Jeremy's doing.
oh, a Chandra.
Okay, I'm not sure if that makes a huge impact on the board, but I assume he's gonna run it out, perhaps.
Well, now he got a two gunner, a Chandra. Like, he can start looting hard.
Yeah, he can start churning. Yeah, here's Chandra,
Now,
which I mean, this card ended up being like just like a very deeply fair planeswalker.
which I love. Fair Planeswalker is what I seek in a format.
Yeah, I mean it's much more pleasant to play against than the other planeswalker in the set. I'll tell you that much. Ether Spark can go kick rocks. Very not fun
Yeah.
card to try and destroy.
Now I'm wondering if Adam should put more pressure currently.
I
Yes, there
mean,
is the engine rat, but he can't trigger. I don't know.
I mean, the Earth Rumbler can do a bit of damage, but there's just so much going on Jeremy's side here. So he's gonna Dredger's Insight here. I assume he's gonna
Off.
pick up a land if given the opportunity, just to be able to do more things. More Carrion Cruiser. Wow, his deck is yeah, his deck is very recursion focused here. A Grim Bobble's another combo with Luris as well.
Luris, always a messed up magic card.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I believe this is like one of the only cards that is straight up banned in Vintage because normally they just
Uh,
restrict cards in Vintage, but here
it's
restricting it doesn't
not
do anything because it's your companion.
it's
You-
not banned anymore, but at one
okay,
point it
yeah, I mean, companion was you know the way they wrote it at the beginning was a mistake, and it's still kind of just ridiculously silly. Yeah, so he did
yes.
he did pick up the World Wagon here, and I mean he could have picked up a land, but this is a land plus a gigantic body here.
Uh,
So now he can play World Wagon and play the Scrap Compactor and have it available to just destroy something next turn straight up.
Oof. And he can get a bunch of fly while recurring his scrap compactor too.
Yeah, this is again this is our first game, so you know we're buckling down here for a long one. Though I think based on what I saw from Adam's deck, he's not looking for the game to go too long. I mean, it's still a green deck, so you're not like you're not like blazing fast aggro deck, but it looks like he's trying to at least be more assertive and get the game over with quicker than Jeremy is. Jeremy's saying game can go as long as it needs to. I will recur my whole graveyard little by little.
Oh, the Cavern Stomper is. I don't think that's the thing Adam needs right now.
Is that a 7/7 for from Ixalan?
Yeah, the 7/7 that
Yeah,
can't be blocked by with an activated ability.
yeah. Can't be blocked
It's
by creatures power 2 or greater. And I believe it scries when it comes in.
it's not two or less. Oh, alright. Well, it's discarded now.
Okay. Well, I mean, he basically can look at 3 fresh cards every turn.
And well, he's using that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what one card he can find to solve this board state. I don't know if he has something in his deck that says opponent's creatures can't block for this turn. I know there's nothing like that in this set. Maybe there's one from another
Well,
set, but
he has 20 cards left, and there's 5 lands on the bottom.
yikes.
So the it's getting difficult. Oh, I just saw a Chandra Ignition in the deck.
Chandra's Ignition. That could do a
Yes,
number on the board. Okay.
that could probably swing the game in Adam's favor in a big way. So I think that's the game plan. Trying to reach the Chandra's Ignition and before Jeremy gains too much life and gains too much value with
Yeah.
the graveyard.
So I don't know if Jeremy's the type to have his opponent's pool pulled up, but if he does, I'm sure he has taken note of a Chandra's Ignition that would basically win the game because it would deal 9 damage to everything except for the 9/7, and then including he would also take 9 damage. All right, he's going to go for the Nethroy
Uh,
here.
or he could, no. Now there's the Metroid 9/7 is probably the best call.
Yeah, so he's going to bring back the Mammoth, the Pothole Mole. It's a never-ending loop here, more or less. He's gaining life from the Dredger's Insight. Just extra life. Mill 3, get a land.
Or a prison. That's unfortunate that he milled that card, but I think that would have turned the game just over.
His creatures are very small now, visually, just because of how many there are.
I do have to say, for the first time I've been into a Gauntlet format, this has been amazing, and seeing those kind of board, I, is quite rare.
Yeah, this is certainly a week 5 type of match here. But
Oh, the Metroid has flying,
yeah, but I mean there are blockers for it. Like he could block with his Gunner and his Fang Druid and lose both, which I'm sure Jeremy's fine with. And remember, this is game 1. So we may. Oh, he says it's time. I assume Jeremy's been doing the math this whole time while we're chatting about other stuff. Let's see. You have to block the World Wagon, have to block the Nethroy, block 2 other 3 power creatures. You get in for 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, it looks
and
lethal.
there's still the Engine Rat. If he doesn't kill it, the Engine Rat will kill it on the backswing.
5 blockers. I think he lives. Okay. Maybe I'm missing something here. Yeah, this is where the version of me that wakes up like around 5 or 5:30 in the morning just is having trouble computing the combat math because I'm pretty tired. But
That
let's
is for blockers.
look. We are an inclusive server. Math is for everyone. Okay. Well, I assume Jeremy did the math, knowing that he's not going to die on the way back. I have to assume that he has made it so he's gaining 5 life here, so that should put him in a safe spot. Adam's taking his time here figuring out how to block, which is obviously very understandable. I mean, there's no tricks here with this 1 black mana, so everything's sort of face up right now. Jeremy knows Adam just has a land. Adam knows there's no combat tricks or anything coming up.
And I think Adams is seeing the writing on the wall.
Well, yeah. So
No, well, it was lethal.
it was lethal. Turns out the math checked out. Jeremy figured out how to win, which was to do that. He was terrified I counted wrong. That's what he said.
Oh,
No math is for everybody, not just blockers.
math is inclusive.
I mean, I don't know if you watched the finals of the Pro Tour, but um, the winner of the Pro Tour on the last game counted like 3 times to make sure he had enough damage because it was an attack for the opponent was like at 50 life, and it was like an attack all. and he counted 3 times to make sure he had lethal damage,
Uh,
just to
yeah,
make sure, because he was gonna die on the way back if it didn't work out, I believe. So he counted three
yes.
times, and then as soon as he attacked all, the opponent like insta scooped because the opponent had done the same math as him.
Um, yeah, a very long game. I do not see any graveyard hate for Adam. He's thinking about the district mascot, perhaps for like the Karen Cruiser or things like that.
Yeah,
I don't really know what other cards district mascot could be good in the matchup.
yeah. So in the meantime, I will apologize for not calling out Nethroy as a cat, since Jeremy had assumed that I had done that already. But it is a cat nightmare beast.
Luris is also a cat nightmare.
I enjoy cats. Cats are great. Um, yeah, it looks like he's thinking about bringing in a couple of maximum overdrives here, possibly
Yeah.
broken wings as well. He's looking at. Um,
I can yeah.
oh,
There's
he
pretty
he
much
he has a Ronas of his own. Even Jeremy does here in his deck.
the only graveyard removal in Adam's pool, from what I can see, is three wreck removers, and I think he's considering putting them in the deck.
Yeah, I mean, I know I removed something from the graveyard, but like considering how much recursion Jeremy has, I don't think exiling like one card once and then maybe getting to attack with it once or twice and exiling one or two more cards is gonna be what he needs, especially just with a 4 mana 3/4 that doesn't has no other words on it. It's like you need something
Uh,
that removes cards en masse from the graveyard, I think. So pretty potentially heavy sideboarding here, looking at 2 Broken Wings, 2 Maximum Overdrive, and a third Engine Rat.
Adam decided to not sideboard.
Okay.
Uh, he did not bring any wreck remover.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Wreck Remover is too small game. So Jeremy taking his time here. He took out a Broodheart engine. Looks like he might be thinking about taking out Pothole Mole as well. So, Jeremy is a longtime league player. He's been here since almost the beginning. He's won league. He's won a league before. And he took, I think he took a few leagues off from what I remember. But so it's been a while since he's been in the top eight. But at 15-8 here, he's positioned to, make a run at it potentially with a few wins in a row here. Adam as well. Adam's a little bit under. He's at 14-9, so he'll have a little bit more work to do to try and get back in the top eight. Since I believe it has been a little while since he's been in the top eight as well. So, but both are multi-time top eighters. All right, so it looks like he took out 1 Broken Wings and 1 Maximum Overdrive, and he's running a 61 card deck because
Uh,
he was so
Adam is
fond of
also
all his cards. He just said, I can't choose. It's like picking a favorite child. I can't do it.
Adam on the play. Adam is keeping a more reactive hand,
Which I
three-lander. Hopefully, he can have a fort to have his summoner.
what else does he have in hand?
Flood the engine, gunner, and the vehicle for red and green,
Okay.
the Rocketeer.
Yeah, I think I didn't see what's an Adam sideboard, but I think he had to ask himself the question, who's the beatdown, and it's him. Like he just cannot go into the deep late game against Jeremy. It's just not possible to keep up with. Like Adam cast 2 stock ups and had like 2 gunners and a Chandra in play and was like rifling through his deck, and it still just could not keep up with Jeremy's late game. So I think I don't. I guess he didn't do much sideboarding or any sideboarding at all, but I think in this case, he might have wanted to lower his curve and try and be the assertive one, because once you get into the late turns against Jeremy, he just has so many redundant cards that like all bring stuff back. So like he'll just draw one or two of them at some point in the game. Like he already has a carrion cruiser in hand here. The rest of his hand is he has Ronas and a bunch of lands, which is not how you really want to have it.
Oh,
But
another run-ups.
but
That's
he does have a cool card from the bonus sheet here, Buried Ruin, which is a land that you could sacrifice to bring an artifact back to your hand from your graveyard. So cool
even more
include there.
recursion.
Yep, more. So interesting, he got back the Wreckage Wickerfolk rather than the Ketradon. Um, I think he's just so flooded on lands now. Also, he doesn't have a second green source either. He has like three swamps and a colorless land in hand. So he just said, I need to sort through my next couple of draws rather than bring the six drop back to my hand that I can't even cast.
Hmm. Uh, I don't quite understand why Adam is destroying the carrion.
I mean, he wants to attack here. He wants to get a clean attack.
Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, like I said, he is, what they would, quote unquote, the beatdown here. So perhaps he identified I need to be able to attack. Now he does have the second forest. So maybe he's slightly wishing he had that Ketradon brought back instead of the Wicker Folk, but he's just gonna put down Ronas here, but it will be unable to attack unless he draws something sizable.
Yeah, but I don't think Adam is that worried about the Ronas currently. It's
Right now, it's
still
not.
a
Yeah, right now it's not
conditioned
doing anything.
creature.
Yeah, right now it's not doing anything. But you know, I don't know how many answers Adam has to it other than to flood the engines or two.
We'll have to see.
I mean, he's got his opponent down to 12. I mean, this is what he needs to do here. Uh, Jeremy, okay. I think Jeremy's stream was lagging a little bit, but we see the Fang Druid Summoner now. All right, he's getting his 9/7.
And flood the engine on the Ronas
Okay.
directly.
I mean,
It's
with
not
with
taking any chance.
with four lands and a Wickerfolk in hand, this game might be over. Just a little quicker than the last one, just slightly. Yeah, this game. Yeah, this may not be a 40-minute game.
I hope not every game in Aetherdrift is a 40-minute game. It's fun once in a while.
Well, both of our other feature matches tonight were over in 30 minutes or so.
Yeah,
Yeah, but once in a while
having
we get a real grindy match here that, and it's always the last one too because I have to stay up as late as possible.
oh, it's always set up that way. Always.
Fortunately, yeah, kind of. All right, he sees Dredger's Insight and an Engine Rat here. So Engine Rat could be pretty useful. Might want to draw that
Aetherdrift
next
is
turn.
it's pretty much a 1 mana removal
Yeah, I mean it's
for
destroy Terrian basically, more or less.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's just going to Ride's End here. He did keep the Dredger's Insight on top because the Dredger's Insight can get back Rat or something else. Dredger's Insight, yeah, can get back the Rat since it's going to get milled. So it's just a free life there. So why not do it like that? Yeah, pretty easy 9/7 here. Yeah, so being very careful about his mana, but he's pretty sure he's going to be playing. Yeah. So he also does still have this. He has his land here, which can get back a carrying cruiser, which could then get back a Ketrodon or whatever else he needs to get back. So
Engine is starting. And
all right,
I
there's a
do
gunner. Yeah.
hope I do hope Adam is able to pass through everything because currently the internet is killing one creature and then Carrion Cruiser can fetch the internet again or a Cretrodon. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to get past through everything.
Yeah. This like the window may have almost already closed. I mean, he had a
And
few turns. Like Jeremy had a pretty slow start with just all the lands he had and not too much else going on. But now it's starting to churn here. We're
uh,
starting to see things picking up here. And Adam must be just
I
beside himself, just saying, "Oh no, it's we've entered this stage of the game."
I guess Chandra's Ignition, Ronas are still out for Adams.
Yeah.
He has a stock up in hand, so he can churn.
I mean, a
He
Chandra's
can
ignition at
find what
any
he needs.
time, a Chandra's ignition at any time would just win the game straight up.
Yeah, pretty
9
much.
damage to face,
A
then attack for
flood
9.
the engine. Oh, that's really important right now.
Flood the engine is looking pretty good here on the rat,
Yeah,
right?
the rat couldn't even block, so that
Yeah,
means so much.
that'll open up attacks at the very least.
This is a really good stock up. I do have to say so myself. A Mind Spring, a Boom Mobile, another Flood, Earth Rumbler.
So just rares, yeah, rares are good.
Yeah,
We like rares.
so it's going to be Mind Spring and Boom Mobile.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot of value.
So he can even just play the Boommobile and knock off the rat that way.
Yes, keep the Flood engine and
Yeah, he can keep the flood the
turn
engines for
sideways
something. Yeah, he could keep the flood the engines for something a Boommobile can't easily kill.
like Illuris, for example.
That could be the one. Yeah. So I guess he's deciding whether or not to do the Boommobile here, but seems somewhat clear at least. This engine rat is holding off a lot of attacks.
Because after that, like Jeremy needs to to trade something like the summoner has to triple block, and that's not something he
Okay.
wants. He's screwing the Karen Cruiser. Okay.
All right. So interesting that he went for the flood the engine. Maybe he's looking for like a big chunk of damage from the Boommobile in the future. So I mean, Jeremy probably needs to try and block with everything or nothing. Trump blocking is not the answer, so I think he said I'll take 9 this time.
Oh, that means the Boommobile could be lethal.
At least
Could be
very close to it,
lethal.
yeah. So he's drawn a pothole mole, which with 2 lands in hand already is not very desirable here.
But with the treasures and sight, he can gain a bit more life, which is important right now.
I believe,
Even though,
yeah, I believe the Dredger's Insight only triggers when an artifact or creature has left the graveyard.
oh,
Also, I
my bad.
believe I don't. I think if he realized he could get back the buried rune, he would not have played his land for turn because
Yeah,
he played his
that's a
land for turn
mistake.
beforehand, uh, and then he got back the buried rune. So I figure he would have just
Or
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can put Jeremy to 1 currently.
Oh, with the Boommobile.
With the Boom Mobile plus a alien in hand.
Okay,
So
I think he'd rather just do the last damage with the Boommobile if he can, but that might not be
mhm.
a viable option here.
I think he just need to turn sideways, see what happens, and then he can probably do the Boom Mobile.
Yeah, he can
I don't
attack
know if
all. I assume something would get through, right?
like the I don't think the summoner is going to be blocked because 2 damage I think Jeremy could handle, but the Mind Spring is cast instead, which
Okay, looks like he's not gonna do that. I think he's gonna try to just uh, boom mobile him out of the game, perhaps, just straight up for 6 at some point. One, two, three. I mean, he needs. He's almost there.
if the Buried Runes grab an artifact, it's going to be not exactly now
Yeah, he's got the
because
Grim Bauble to kill this Merfolk. He says, "No, I'd rather you not draw 7 cards or whatever."
which fair enough.
I too would like to deny my opponents the ability to draw 6 or 7 cards all at once. I,
Yeah, but
I
like,
I would relish that opportunity if I had it.
do you see the difference between the players? Like, Adam has to play a creature and has to untap to draw 7 cards, but then Jeremy can just play from his graveyard.
Yeah, I mean he's just drawing cards consistently from his graveyard here. The Buried Rune is
Yeah,
such a cool card. Like this is like what I think is like an ideal bonus sheet card because it's cool, it's fun, it's not overpowered, it requires a little bit of work, but
it has
it has a really
good
cool effect on
synergies
the
with the
game.
format too.
It's like
Like
yeah, cards like
looping to
Ronas or
artifact.
cards like Ronas or the Soul. The I played against Soul Cauldron a couple of times. Like what are we doing? Why? But Buried Rune is super cool. And he's drawn a World Wagon here. So how much mana? How many lands does Adam need to just straight up kill with a Boommobile? He's still off by a few, right?
So he needs 3 mana to activate, and then the X is for damage. So one, two, three,
He's pretty far off,
four,
I
five,
think.
6 currently. So one more land and it's lethal.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
a
4,
a Rocketeer.
3.
He's going. I think he's going to go for
Does
the
is it
lethal
not 2 more
now.
lands to deal 7?
Uh,
I could be wrong.
uh. There's the land. There's the Boom Mobile, and
It'll,
we'll see now.
it'll add
4.
4, and then it'll have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to deal 7. Yeah, okay, no, it works. I have been awake for too long to have done that correctly, but yeah, he's gonna finish it off here. I think this is what he
And
was holding. I think he was just holding the Boommobile to do this. That was his goal. Just get enough mana to do it all in once. And Jeremy's looking through his cards. No instant speed way here to get something out of his graveyard and gain a life. So looks
uh,
like we're going to a game of 3.
I think so.
Yeah,
Oh,
X equals 7.
I do hope Jeremy doesn't have any Earth Rumblers because with the Dredgers inside, it can be quite nightmarish for Adam to
Yeah,
pass through.
it's pretty cool. I imagine if he has an Earth Rumbler in his pool, he's playing it. He could cycle the Web Strike Elite here and hope to draw something that can gain him a life. He can just do X equals 0. He can because that's his card in hand. I imagine he's looking through his deck and figuring there's no card I can draw here. Yeah, because you could Web Strike Elite X equals 0, draw a card. You have black, black, white mana still, so I don't know if there was a card that did anything. Guessing not. Sadly, no Earth Rumbler for Jeremy here. Yeah, looking at his deck, there was nothing that he could draw that could gain him a life at instant speed. He probably knew that though. Yeah.
And I think so. Jeremy will be on the play unless he doesn't want to be on the play.
I imagine he'll take the option to be on the play. Um,
And
I
I
mean,
think it's going to be a very grindy last game.
all right. Well, we're here for it. Yeah. Speaking of like taking play and draw, like I mean, and people would ask me about this. I would say like as recently as like maybe a bit more than a year ago, I would in league often put my opponent on the play at least for like weeks one, two, maybe even week three, like when all the decks are bad and all the mana is janky. Like that one extra card actually makes a difference. But I think since play boosters, it's just never correct. Like since play boosters came out, the cards are just too strong.
Yeah, so sometimes you can just die very quickly.
Yeah,
Fortunately, not in this matchup, but like the black red speed deck is can kill very quickly. It's surprising.
yeah. It's been a quite a long time since I've put my opponents on the play in league. It's just like I said, it used to be something I would do in early weeks, and people would ask me about it, and I would like the question. I would always be like, well, when the mana is bad and the decks are slow, the extra card's worth it because people's mana is very bad at the beginning of the league. But you know, as I said, now the decks are stronger. People can people can have way more consistent decks, better cards, and it's just hard to justify giving your opponent the play. So mulligan right away
Oh,
here for Jeremy, and he's gonna end up having to keep this two lander here with a Wicker Folk to at least surveil.
oh, this is a very aggressive hand for a mole to 6 for Adam. Got Rocketeer, Tarox, Beast Rider, Boommobile, Pathfinder. I think the Pathfinder is going down.
Sounds like he doesn't have too many lands though.
Yeah, 2 lands, but he has 3 cards that he could play for 2.
Well, that'll do. Yeah. So Jeremy has also two lands. He has the Wicker Folk to surveil. He has Beast Rider Vanguard. He has a Perilous Snare, which is one of his white cards that he's splashing, and he has a Hazard of the Dunes. No white mana yet, and he's drawn the third land here. So it looks like both players will have things to do in the early turns here.
But they could scramble for some lands.
Yeah, well, he did. He saw two swamps, and he said, "Well, I do want my fifth land, but I don't want a fourth swamp." So,
Oh, I just realized something.
is he missing
Adam
colors?
doesn't have any green or blue lands in his hand.
That's a rough
This
one.
is very risky.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on six and you're on the draw, the amount of mulligan hands you keep widens a bit. But yeah, if he doesn't get green here, it's going to be a rough go.
Currently, there's no castable cards in his hand, and this is bad.
Yeah, so Jeremy is going to land his Hazard of the Dunes. So I think interesting, no attacks here. Huh.
Oh, okay. Uh, Adam got his land,
Interesting about the
so
no attacks. Did not even attack with the Wicker Folk there. So Jeremy's got three cards, but he can't cast any of them. He's got a Web Strike Elite, which can't even be cycled or cast. He has a Ride Zen and a Perilous Snare, two white cards. So Adam might have some time to catch up here.
yeah, he got a stock up, so he can
Okay.
find more lands
Yeah.
and
Preferably green sources.
flood the engine too for the Hazard. Well, the Hazard isn't much of an issue right now with
Hmm.
the Tyrox.
Yeah.
Oof, 4 lands and a Rona.
Okay.
Does he take the Rona?
I probably not, but maybe he wants it. I mean, just the
He
lands.
does.
Okay.
Well, he took the Ronas and a forest.
Okay.
So
I feel like I want to guarantee that I just get to cast all my cards. So I've probably taken two lands and given up the Ronas, but I'm sitting on the sidelines here, so he knows his deck better than me, obviously.
Uh,
It's a pothole mole,
uh,
pretty nice getting a forest here, meaning Web Strike Elite can be cast or cycled now.
oh, fifth land natural. That's very good.
There you go.
There's Earth Crumbler
It was happening
out
that way all along.
all along.
Yeah, so suddenly that risky keep for Adam is he wasn't supremely punished. He misses land drop there once, but now he's just going to be able to play his spells pretty much. He's going to be able to cast things every turn now. And
Why is
Jeremy's
there
potentially not going to be able to cast things every turn.
why is it always the people that keeps greedy hands that are winning leagues?
I mean,
Could you
uh,
explain me that?
I mean, there's a certain risk to it that if it pays off, you just get to play all your stuff more or less perfectly. I've seen people keep hands and it just they don't get to play the game, but yeah, I've like you're talking to somebody who's known for being pretty conservative as far as the lines I take. I've been told I mulligan too much. Um, I see players who do very well keep hands that I don't think I'd ever keep, and that doesn't make either of us right or wrong. It just you know that's how the game is. Sometimes you just have to keep the risky hands because the upside is so good.
Hmm.
And I mean, here we saw the downside was that had to take a couple turns off, but Jeremy was stumbling too. He just didn't have too many things to do after he played his Hazard of the Dunes. So now Adam just
Uh,
gets to play out his cards and not have to feel like he's behind.
you did mention Jeremy has a right hand, so he could get rid of the Ronas, but uh, depending on if Adam attacks or not, the right hand is going to cost Jeremy's most of his turn,
He's gonna
which
need
is
a white source first.
he doesn't have a triumph.
This Triome is does not make white. It's a Sultai Triome.
Oh,
So he
okay,
doesn't have any
sorry.
blue cards. He's just playing it as a black green tap land that cycles.
That's fair enough. It's just
Yeah,
not very visible on my screen.
yeah. So yeah, it taps for black, green, or blue. So for his deck, just black, green. So looks like he's just gonna cycle this and blow up this car here. Says I feel like blowing up a car today. Yeah, but Rona still gets to attack here, so he's trying to catch Rodon, but that still doesn't stop the Ronas because it has Death Touch.
Yes. Uh, Catcher also a tremendous card for green.
Yeah, I mean this is more or less like the best version of this we've ever seen because we've gotten this effect quite a few times in the past. A big 6 drop that gains some life, but this one has both reach and cycling, so it just covers all the bases.
And with back from track uh, in black, it makes it so good to cycle it early
Yeah,
on and then bring it back, have a 6/6, gain 4,
yeah.
and
Broodheart engine as well.
yeah, Bird Heart Engine too.
All right, so
Yeah,
we get to poke in for one, but interesting. And Adam was sort of doing this in the previous game, which is not attacking with the Ronas here, just identifying it's very good on blocks. But I think like I had said earlier, he needs to be the assertive deck here. But that's a cool card too
yes.
from the bonus sheet. Yeah, like these are the type of cards I find are pretty cool from the bonus sheet.
Yeah. Uh, Adam has a lot of burn in his hand with Boommobile and Lightning Strikes.
I think he's got to
So,
start attacking here with at least Ronas. No, he says I mean, I would feel pretty safe attacking with Ronas, especially because you have a Death Toucher to block the Legak. And he's got a Plains now, and he can now get rid of this Ronas and dealt having it have dealt no damage to him whatsoever.
Uh, yeah, I think. Oh, Peril's Snare.
Yeah, so he had both the Perilous Snare and the Ride Zen um, from very early in this game. So he's going to go to attacks, and he says, "I want to start getting my speed up because I want to put counters on my stuff." Yeah, see, if Ronas had attacked, I I don't think Ronas attacking opens up Adam to like get attacked back in such a way that's super harmful to him.
Oh, the plow through doesn't work. Oh, damn.
Nope. Plow through will just destroy. No, it destroys vehicles or fights. Yeah,
Yes, it does not work against artifacts specifically.
it sure
So,
doesn't.
yeah, this is looking grim for Adam. Uh, he will have a trigger to
Yeah.
look at the top.
So what? It's if it's a land, you draw it. Otherwise, you surveil it more or less.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Into your hand. If you
Chandra.
don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into your graveyard. Okay. Is
He
Chandra
kept
doing
it.
anything at all right now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
It looks like he did
but
keep it though.
there's still the flyer upstairs. He could lightning strike the Wicker Folk.
Oh, that's a Lurus. And
Oh
he's
no,
and he's got a
there's
broken wings and a ride zen. So he's just got interaction and he's gonna be getting to max speed shortly.
Adam has difficult choice currently. Uh, the Wicker Folk will continue putting +1/+1 counter, well, gaining speed with then with the snare put +1/+1 counter on every card, which means he can win the long game. But the lures too can put a lot of pressure by essentially drawing a card each turn. So
So what does Adam have left in hand here?
Boom Mobile, Lightning Strike, and Plow Through. So he has the
Okay.
removal, but like he's going to empty his hand to do that.
Yeah, I mean
So
he's pretty forced to kill the Lurus here, I would say. The Lurus is threatening because he still has an engine rat in his graveyard that he can cast next turn.
uh yeah.
So he's weighing his options.
I
I think it has to start with killing the Lurus because
yeah.
but then there's still
Uh
the flyer that's getting through. There's the Beast Rider Vanguard that can be activated at some point
and then
if
at
he ever
some
runs out of
point
gas.
the Azard could become a 7/7 out of nowhere, and he can't trade with it, but it's still trampled through and gonna take a bunch of damage, and he's at 13. Taking 7 is hard.
Yeah, I mean it's not conducive to turning the game around, taking 7 damage. So let's see what Adam can do here. There's a few things he needs to answer.
Uh, he's going to cast the Chandra, and I
Okay.
think plow through the Lyris.
Plow through the Lurus with the Earth Rumbler, but there's a
Yeah.
broken wings here that's going to prevent that from occurring.
Or he could animate with the vehicle, and that's the same problem.
Yeah, if you yeah, I mean, but he has to figure he might be playing around removal, but he can't figure that it's broken wings exactly. 'Cause it could be just about any removal here. It could be spin out. It could be some other type of removal.
Yeah. There's a stock up on top. Stock up helps getting cards, but It's not
Yeah,
getting him anywhere right now.
yeah,
He has too
it's
much pressure right now.
yeah. When you have five lands in play and are on the verge of falling behind, stock up is a good card, but it's hard to justify tapping three out of your five lands to not
At
affect the board
sorcerer speed too.
whatsoever. I mean, yes, you could find something, but you know, what's the odds you can find something that's extremely usable that you can cast immediately? It's pretty small. Looks like he is keeping on top though.
I hope he knows what he's doing.
I mean, he's playing his. I mean, he's been playing this deck. For, I mean, I don't know how long he's been playing this version of the deck, but he's been playing with this pool for 5 weeks now, and he's at 14 wins. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
confident he knows
uh,
what kind of things he's going to be looking for. But yeah, like Jeremy's on the verge of cementing or taking over this game potentially.
uh, he will animate the Earth Rumbler.
Well, normally you get to act to crew the Earth Rumbler for free. Just this time he gets to crew it for free, but in a different way than you usually do it. And it looks like he's gonna be pretty hard pressed here after the Broken Wings comes through. Yeah, it's gonna be hard from here. I mean, he does have some powerful cards, but not not too much time left or mana to spend towards
And
turning the game
Jeremy at
around.
24, he cannot just boom mobile for 24 right now.
He can dream about it, but he's about 20 lands away from that, sadly.
And if he draws 20 lands to kill it, Jeremy, I think he's gonna die before that because he's gonna draw 20 lands. And yeah, Jeremy on the offense, the
Yeah,
tempo has switched. Adam on the defensive.
yeah, he's got a second Ride's End. He's got two Ride's End in hand. Note of note, can only cast one, but that's still plenty. Yeah, so he's attacking the Hazard at the Chandra. I guess he just wants to get some damage on that. And then the other creatures are all attacking Adam directly. He does want to get his fourth speed. Fourth speed means he gets to start putting counters.
And counters on the Wickerfold are going to be deadly, honestly.
Yeah, that could pile up pretty fast. Yeah, he's
Or on the
gonna.
Lurus to protect it.
Looks like his only block is the. Okay, he is gonna spend his turn here just killing this Chandra. He still gets to even cast his Engine Rat post combat. So just masterful use of his resources and mana here. This is not an easy deck to play, Jeremy's deck. Right, with all the recursion, it's like, what am I bringing back now? How do I sequence the turns? But Jeremy's been playing longer than perhaps anybody on this server potentially. So he has
It's
really been
not.
really precise with his decisions this game.
It's gonna be a stock up, but oh my god, 4 lands, a Rocketeer,
That ain't
the
it.
vehicle. It's not it. It's not it. He can cycle with the desert, but currently on board, he's close to lethal with the Wickerfolk and the Engine Rat draining for 2. That's 4 life plus all in attack. He
The,
could
the,
be
the Wicker
dead in
Folk,
turn 2.
the Wicker Folk can even get another counter here,
Yeah, so 5 damage. Yeah, he only needs one creature to get through, and
and
it's
he
over.
he has three more creatures right now.
And 2 rides his hand. I think the writings are on the wall.
Yeah, doesn't look like there's too much to be done here. Perhaps Adam can figure out a way to stay alive for a turn, but I guess it would involve another blocker here.
He took a gain land. I doubt it's enough.
Yeah, so he has a basically on board now. He has guaranteed 5 damage, Right, so he's killing the Loris. That makes sense. It is true. It is just an innocent cat. Very true.
He has
Maybe
done
not as innocent as Jeremy is purporting, but it's an innocent cat.
well by himself. He doesn't do any crimes. He doesn't target anything. So he is indeed an innocent cat.
I don't know. It
After that,
feels like he's an accessory to some crimes, perhaps.
maybe he uses some artifact or creatures to do crimes, but that's a separate issue.
So this is not quite lethal here. Yeah, it's not quite lethal. He does have to block both of these creatures to not die. So Jeremy could do a ride's end here on something, but it means that he won't activate the rat. So it's like sort of the same difference here.
I think activating the rat is more useful right now. Like the right's end is pretty much just to end the deal.
Yeah, and he could
The
still
rat is
cast.
just
Yeah,
the rat is just accumulating value by itself.
and he even gets to cast his Wicker Folk that he drew for turn here and still have 6 mana left and see a Scrap Compactor on top. Yeah, pretty good. Looks like this
The rat
is
strength for
almost assuredly the last turn that Adam's going to have here.
yeah, a forest. He can play the Rocketeer or the Boommobile to see if there's anything more on top. But yeah, he could sack his land to make it 1/1.
Yeah, so we got to see a lot of different types of decks tonight in the feature matches. We're in week 5 and we got to see like a scrappy little Orzov deck. We see this Abzan Graveyard Loops deck. We saw a four color bombs deck. We saw Johnny's also very scrappy deck earlier, black red deck. And now this Temur deck for Adam also with some burn and some heavy hitters. So we got to see a nice variety of decks tonight, which don't always get to see in week 5. Sometimes, you see a lot of similar decks. Green was a common denominator tonight, though, I will say, amongst a lot of the decks, but different flavors of it at least.
Being the gunner right now must feel so hard.
Yeah.
Like the gunner last turn would have been so good.
Yeah. I mean, Adam can see that there's no way out of this. There's Engine Rat, there's 2 flyers. It's he can shoot down one of the flyers, but it's all for naught at the end. So very grindy match here, upwards of almost an hour and a half match. So good job by both the players. Congratulations to Jeremy on the win here, and thanks for watching.